if I say that the XRP price is about to do a move to the upside like this, how many of you would really agree on that? Now, is that something new? No. We have seen these kind of movements in XRP. We have seen these kind of price actions in medium term structures. It is for sure. You can see that in front of you. But it's really interesting to understand it's not just in that medium term structure. You're watching that happening on a long term structure as well. Not once, many time over and over. So you're watching that this price structure is happening on XRP again and again. So why would we say this is not possible this time around? I wouldn't actually put that argument in. Rather, I would say this is about to happen. Now, you may actually ask, what the hell did change in the market? There is no big change in the market. I would argue, no. There is a lot happening in the market, which is building on top of what we already had. And if you look at the right area, you're watching CBDCs used for cross-border payments. So literally everyone will now start to focus on, okay, CBDCs, payments, cross-border payments, bridge assets. So that thought process is about to come into the market, and you're literally watching this. Historically speaking, when you start to see a trend to the upside in this, that has always ended up with a move upside in the market. And this is a 1 year window which you're looking at. That's super interesting. This, when you look at the 5 year, gives you an idea of where we are and what we are about to do. Whether it's here back in 2020, whether it's here back in 2019, you're literally watching how the price action is going to evolve from this point onwards. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, when you are in the market, studying what the market is doing, what the possibilities are, what targets you can really look at in a lot of different assets based on what trend they're showing, what price structure they're showing, just like I showed you what XRP is showing, right? And what is the possible support, resistance, or your targets in those assets. We're going through a ton of those, breaking them down one by one so that you guys actually see that, okay, this asset is a red flag, whereas this asset is a huge opportunity. If I'm ready to ride this asset for next 2 months, next 3 months, these are my targets. Now, if you want to get onto those, I would say join the SI family where 985 plus members are already there. You can reach the Patreon using the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio in Twitter. Now, let's dive into this. We just talked about this possibility. Fine, we understand that this has been a repeating structure for a long period of time, not only here in 2022 and 2023, and now possibly in 2024, but also back in 2020 towards 2021. That was a great time. Then 2021, that was a great time too. So those who bought here have literally made a 15-16x in XRP. Why should XRP do this right now? When XRP goes up, we all know the market is going up. Are we doing that? Because a lot of thought process here is like, oh no, the market is about to go down. Bitcoin is about to drop. But what the hell is Bitcoin doing right now in front of us? It's creating a couple of patterns. It's breaking them to the upside. It's interesting because if you are a pattern guy, that's what you're following. If you are a wave structure guy, you're trying to see, okay, do we have a waveform? Yeah, we do. And that kind of shows you, okay, if you want to remain bearish on this asset, you would like to see that the price get rejected by the range of 44,000 towards 45,000 all the way down, making a new low. If you are a bear, this is what you want in the market. But as you zoom out to see, okay, what's the odds for that? Is the gods of technical analysis or the price action favoring that? Or is the literal almighty saying, guys, watch this. This is what I want to show you. Then I would say, okay, a higher time frame structure matters a lot. What does this mean? You had a trading range, you created a fake out to the upside, you came back down, you bump back in, you make another fake out. You drop back down. Everyone expected this to go down from there with a retest and a rejection. However, that went back into the trading range. So usually when you get this level of fake out with the RSI showing you that, and you go back into the trading range, what happens? The price burst through that level. So your previous resistance is 49. If Bitcoin breaks $50,000, that's going to be the media attention. That's going to turn over a lot more people into crypto. Why would that happen, or why should that happen? You're here focusing on Bitcoin on a 3-day chart. Remember, we discussed about this bullish engulfing candle, saying that doesn't happen every now and then. And when that happens, historically speaking, you end up going higher. Whether that's a move all the way from 25,000 to 31,000 or the move from 19,000 to 30,000. We have seen those in this cycle, in the recent past, in long-term horizon. If that's all true, why the hell should you or me go against it? History is our friend. Fine, you say, okay, that's a 3-day chart. I want a weekly or a monthly. Fine, you got it. You come here, you look at the weekly chart. You're looking at the weekly. Remember, we talked about this particular candle here, saying that is your mother candle. Unless you break to the downside and get a retest and a rejection to the downside, you're not going down. Your trend is to the upside. Nothing has changed. You got a wick to the upside, for sure. You got a wick to the downside. Now, which direction are you going? Which direction is the trend? What do you see? Have a consolidative range. Do a long wick to the downside and then do what? Okay. So that happened once. That happened twice. That happened another time here. Will that repeat here? Because if it comes to that range, there is a lot of bears who are ready to get liquidated. No one wants to get liquidated. They'll sell that position and move off, which reduces that selling pressure, which increases the demand in the market. That pushes the price higher. So when you're in the market, you're watching, the momentum is increasing. The first trend line, which is coming all the way back from 2022, shows you, the momentum is going up. Great, perfect. The next trend line from 2023 September shows the momentum is taking off. It's lifting. The momentum is increasing. And we're still respecting that trend line. What does that mean? Think. Ask yourself. Each and every time when the RSI has entered the overbought territory on an hourly, on a 4-hour, on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly, you have seen big pops in the respective charts. Whether it's an hourly, whether it's a weekly, whether it's a monthly, you have seen that. If that's true and it's re-entering the overbought territory, what do you think is going to be there in the price action? What do you think the price candles are going to show you? Because when you zoom out on a monthly, remember, you just have next 2 days, 48 hours to see that monthly candle close. If it closes anyway like this, that's positive. If it does close above 44,500, that's a new high on a monthly. Now, as of now, the monthly close, you're already there. You have already put in a new high. You are trending to the upside. So nothing has actually turned bearish. You get that point. Look at the volume. It's still increasing gradually, organically. Usually, historically, whenever you reach a peak, you get a abnormal increase in the volume to the upside. Whether you look at the upside or the downside, that's true. You get abnormal increase in selling at the bottom. That's the capitulation. Retail exit, whales enter. At the top, retail is buying, whales exit. So you kind of get to see that in a long-term horizon. You go each time and you get to see that. The abnormal increase in the volume happens when you are at the top, not the organic increase. That historically doesn't show you the top. If that's all true till this point, which it is true, that means the odds actually favors price movement to the upside for one reason or the other. So when we are trying to break down ideas, information which the market is giving us, the data points in the land of candlesticks, question is, okay, what have we seen in the recent past which has given some momentum to the price action? That's an interesting question, which I would argue every one of us would like to see. Here you had some momentum. Here you had some momentum. Every time you go back, whenever you had some momentum, it has always been an increase in buying strength. And that makes a lot of sense. More buyers entering the market, they are pushing sellers to the verge, and the increase of buyers. Imagine you have 100 seats and the number of buyers are increasing. They're now taking 50 seats, 60 seats, 70 seats. Now the amount of sellers are literally low. That's what you can actually look at in these different horizons with the strength. So the moment you see the RSI is popping through 75, 78, 80, interesting. Buyers are super strong in that time, whether that's a short-term chart or a long-term one. Fine. Here is the 1 hour chart. We haven't entered back there. So for the 4 hour to start that pop, you need the 1 hour candle showing you, yeah, I'm starting. That's something you need to see. That's something we all want to see. That's a great start. Then you go on to a 4 hour, a daily, wherever. Whichever horizon you're trading, because not everyone has that patience to trade on a weekly or a monthly. It's really hard. So here you are watching that, okay, 4 hours entering there, MACD is bouncing, it's in the positive territory, that's all supportive. Perfect. Boom. You go on to the daily. But we are not yet there. So for the daily candle to give you these bursts like this, the movement from 39 all the way up to 42, to see that big run-ups on a daily candle, we're not yet there. We're not yet there. We rarely get that kind of a pop below this. Yes, we have seen some, but very rarely. Most of them happen when the RSI is about to enter the overbought territory. That's 70 plus. I keep it default. Right now you're at 56. You don't have too big room to the upside. You can literally do that 50 in a day or two. Maybe within this week, next 7 days, we may actually do that. Which means when you zoom out to the weekly, you're like, okay, the weekly shows I'm already close to that. I just need a little bit of push, whether from a 1 hour or a 4 hour, and I'm entering there on the weekly. Now, this is one of the most important part you shouldn't miss. When you remain in the overbought territory, or you are dominating in the overbought territory and you stay there, it doesn't matter how long you're staying there, people would say, it's overbought, it's about to go down. Yeah, you'll see these drops, but you're not going down, you're going higher. Each time you drop, you go back up. Each time you drop, you go back up, unless you get rejected back down and you're not going back in. When you see this re-entering here, that's a huge signal. And when it is re-entered there, say next candle, the weekly candle, when we see that, if that's above 75, I think these sellers are going to have a hard time resisting the liquidation point or the margin call. So that means you're literally watching things changing in the environment. The supply issue is there. You're literally watching the giants competing. Think about this in the other way. The BlackRock, the Fidelity, all these giants are really the real big guys of the financial world. But in the Bitcoin world, they're not. You have Binance holding way more than them. You have Grayscale holding way more than them. You have MicroStrategy holding way more Bitcoin than the BlackRocks and Fidelity. Do you think they like that? I don't. I really don't. I think these guys who are like, 5 trillion, 10 trillion, $8 trillion worth of assets, they see themselves as the king or the rulers of the financial world. And when you enter into a new arena, they would like to remain at that level. I don't think they want to go down, which means they're going to buy, and they may make you, me, and other retailers sell that. I don't agree with those guys to give my crypto to them. That's not going to happen. So if you are well educated about what's happening in the market, you know which direction the price is going. You know which direction the money is flowing. So the money flow within crypto is here. We're watching this. Great. We would like to see this to the downside. But if it's going up, it's not a bad thing. It just shows you crypto is getting more money, which means it's going into Bitcoin right now, which means it goes up, you make a lot of money, Bitcoin is roofing, and you will do what? You'll take your profits, some of them buy altcoins, money starts rotating into altcoins, and that is exactly where you will see altcoins doing best jobs. You know, the real run-ups in altcoin can happen in a different way. So while the Bitcoin dominance go up, this is fine. I would be really happy if I want to load more up in this scenario in a lot of different altcoins. And that's exactly why I was saying some of them are showing you it can drop. Some of them are showing you it's highly correlated with Bitcoin, which means it's going to go up with Bitcoin, but not all of them will do that. There would be 10-20% of different altcoins which are highly correlated with Bitcoin, which is showing I'm breaking higher. I'm about to follow Bitcoin. So if you want to know those, join the SI family where 985 plus members are they learning, educating themselves to become the next top 10% of this world. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please consider doing that now. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.